Hello everyone, welcome to the Majestix Heroclix Podcast. If you like our content, please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. If you're interested in learning more about the Bronze Age format and the Majestix Open Series, please check out openseries.majestixccg.com. Also, if you want to learn about Heroclix strategies, tactics, and lists from the game's top players, please visit majestixccg.com/apex-insiders. Lastly, if you're looking for Heroclix singles, please visit our eBay stores at stores.ebay.com/MajestixHeroclix and stores.ebay.com/ClicksCollective. All the links for everything I just talked about is below in the description. And again, my name is Jeff, and as always, my co-host Patrick.
What's up?
Today, we're joined by the Wizard World winner and captain of Team Vegas, Roland Wellington.
How's it going, guys?
Also 5-0 at the Swiss rounds from the past weekend.
Yeah.
Woo woo. Top seed.
So the rust is off. The back in the swing of things. You're stretched out.
Oh yeah.
So how was it from the first time to this time? You know, the first event then when you played in hours in at my store into this one, which is like what, 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, a little over 2 months for the last one. So in terms of on the map, play-wise, much better. Like Pat said, the rust is off. Knowing my team better because I built it myself as opposed to sort of adjusting one that was a previous Bronze Age team, so I understood it better. Got more practicing with it, and I kind of knew the board positioning better. For my play, for the play, there was less mistakes, less just not knowing things, less forgetting things, more sharp on the position, everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
Did you do a lot of practice leading up to this? Seems like you did a lot more.
Yeah, we did practice a lot. For this particular one, the other Team Vegas guy that went down with me, Patrick, also named Patrick, he was going through what I did the first time, which was going through a lot of different builds before he settled on one. I knew this one early on, so I got to work on it and just kind of understand it for 3+ weeks. So
yeah, see, that's important because this is what I was telling this to Jeff when he was trying to decide what to play. Said if you still don't know what to play, then you have to play what you're comfortable with or you have prior knowledge of.
Yep.
Because otherwise you're going to make all these mistakes because you're just learning it on the fly at a tournament. That's like the worst.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and by the time you learn it, you might be 2-2.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That advice helped out
bubbling in
tremendously.
around. Yeah, exactly. And then sure enough, you know, he played the Thanos, which he's very familiar with. And, you know, Nighthawk kind of plays by himself. But
you also played Nighthawk back in May too, so you have familiarity with Nighthawk.
Yeah. So like if so basically what it was when so he played my Super Scroll team.
Okay.
And then he played my Thanos team. Like these are actually like my teams that played, and he was like, "What shall I play?" It's like, "Well, these are your options. Either play Super Scroll again, or you can substitute." It's like, or you can substitute Thanos for Super. You can substitute Thanos in for Super Scroll, and then it's basically the same team, but like you don't just die if things go wrong with Super Scroll. But you know, if things go wrong, you still have a better shot with Thanos. Right. Obviously, he's like still super busted even with the watch list errata.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I didn't feel any different in playing Thanos.
Yeah,
it's the same Thanos.
Yeah, if you were look at it right, it's you basically changed out an entity for Split Lip, but everything else is the same, and then like your objects are different. But
speaking from a player who played both of Jeff's teams, the difference between Super Skrull and Thanos is I got Super Skrull down to his last click or his second to last click, and the virus trait killed him and a crit miss. I got Thanos down to second to last click, and he ended up getting back up to his invuln clicks. So that's the difference between the two figures.
Yeah. So that's why I was telling him just play something. Otherwise, you're just donating $30 to the winner.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I always tell people, you know, and this is this is like one of my pet peeves when someone says it's like, it's not, I don't know if it's, I guess it's a pet peeve, but it's also like they don't want. It's almost like, oh, they're hedging their bets. They have a built-in excuse, and it's like, I don't need to know that, because you're just making you're making an excuse if you lose. They'll say, I just built this team this morning. I just built this team last night. This is my first time playing it like that. It's and that's already. So you put that out there. If you don't do well, you're like, well, I just built this.
You're prefacing it. You're prepared. You're hoping for the best, and if I fuck up, this is because why.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just like that's just poor preparation, right? Also, that's just not like a good mentality to have when you're playing a competitive event. You want to be prepared, right? Especially if you're gonna spend money and time. You want to try to be as prepared as possible, So. A few people were telling me that, and I was just like, oh. And then, coincidentally, they went 1-4.
It's a thing.
So, it's kind of like a correlation, between the two. So, just a little aside there. But what did let's talk about like what Patrick played, because we're gonna basically jump into the top 8. But like, okay. I think this type of team. You want to bring that up, Jeff? I guess let's start bringing up the top 8.
Okay.
Let's talk about this right now, because I think this is going forward. I think one of the top archetypes that people are going to be like messing around with, because there are actually 2 collector teams in the top 8, with a third one that finished 9th.
Wow. Okay.
So let's look at number 8, and then we'll go through. Because this is like Patrick played a version of this, but not theme.
I think it works a little better if I zoom in, right, friends? There we go.
So right. Julio.
He's got a Latveria theme team +6. Doom the Annihilating Conqueror to bring everyone together. We got Valeria Richards with Ion, 50-point Captain Marvel Prime, 30-point Dark Phoenix, 30-point Scarlet Witch that carries friends, and 25-point Collector. 10-point emotional modifier and a 10-point soul gem with a boxing ring.
Yep. Oh, and you know what? I think he didn't. I don't know if he put it on his list, but he also has the Latverian village.
He did not have it on his list.
Yeah.
It's on there because it's 0, but it is actually there.
Yeah.
It was not noted.
Yeah. Dang, if that was the case, Roland, you could have said something. You were like, it's not on the list.
You know what? I've been before when I'm like, hey, you don't have standard light and heavies listed on your build sheet. You can't
Dude, 100%.
So,
but but this is what I was actually talking. I was telling Jeff, like, we want it to be more professional. The more professional it is, the more accountability that we're going to need from players, which means they're gonna be more in tune with what they should be doing, as opposed to just kind of let everything go. Because this is kind of like what on a professional level, which is kind of what we want the circuit to be, like a professional level. Everybody has a good time, but we're still, like, run it professionally. Whereas we kind of just half-ass everything, because what happens is if we let things slip through the cracks, then those cracks become huge, because then we let one person not have play his piece without the card, and then next thing you know, we're letting them proxy the piece. Period. It's like, wait, what?
Exactly.
So,
like, if you're filling out your build sheet, put the goddamn numbers on there.
Yeah, that's a big.
It's my pet peeve.
That's because Jeff types these out, so I was like, I gotta know what you're playing.
Oh, I yelled at Jackson for it over the weekend. I was like, no, not again.
Yeah. All right, so so this is the basic collector team. It's because he's cosmic, and Doom is the easiest one to make him theme. I think this is like what you'll see the most of. I think, like, these types of teams. Are there any other? Is there other room for, I guess, improvement on Latveria type collector teams, or is it better to just go straight up cosmic?
There's a lot of, like, you can get your theme pretty high if you want to go cosmic, because you got the floras and stuff and all that stuff. But it also works for the Doom stuff, right? because it brings cosmic.
Yeah,
to
so
Latveria.
like Doom, just Doom in general, it just makes them all. But is it better to just not include things like Valeria or other?
I was going to say with Collector, the damage trait says they have to be from different sets. Doom covers 4 or 5 keywords, so that means you have a bigger chance of
pull from.
Yeah,
you can for sure.
Cosmic, you might be like, oh, I need to run these 2 Cosmic guys, but they're both from the same set because maybe more Cosmics in a specific set or a group of sets. So,
okay, let's what would be okay, because that's a theory. In practice, what would be 2 cosmic pieces that you would play from the same set that would be played in this?
Traitor, Astronomer.
Do you see those being played? I don't see Traitor being played hardly ever because Rob Gallagher doesn't play anymore.
That's true.
Astronomer, okay, I could see Astronomer.
Oh, Gardner. Gardner is also solid. Okay. Like if you want to bring back those cosmic teams, like that's kind of what the core was.
I guess that would be the only reason, because the main thing for me is like, if you have Groot, that's from AI. You have Floor Colossus, that's from Mighty Thor. You have Dark Phoenix, that's from X-Men. And then you can play one of the cosmic guys from Illuminati. But yeah, for sure, if you need to play Gardner and whatever. But if you have Captain Marvel
with
that's Empire. That could be one. Although I don't think that's viable anymore. I mean, look at it. If you look at the points,
because he has no reducers and there's so much poison. You're right.
But also, just like Gamora kills him in one shot.
That's scary.
Like literally, he's only 5 clicks, so she charges and he's dead.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Yeah, so that if it wasn't for pieces like like right now, the meta game right now it's trending towards Gamora because like you see there are 2 Gamora teams on here, so you're gonna have to be kind of very careful about what kind of pieces you're gonna play because you're gonna have to be able to take a shot from her.
So for Cosmic, just doing a quick search, Doom's in the same set as High Evolutionary. He's in the same set as Molecule Man. He's in the same set as Uatu. I mean,
so you don't what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm saying
so you don't play. What I'm saying is, you wouldn't play Doom. What I'm saying is, you wouldn't play Doom, because I'm thinking about. So you would probably just play like either Molecule Man or High Evolutionary. But yeah, if you wanted both,
right, that
would be a thing.
Just being greedy.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is though, is like Latveria teams you just have Doom period, and he's by himself he's an answer for like. Just a lot of the format, right?
Swiss Army knife for a lot of problems out there.
He does have a lot. Okay, so let's move on to. So I think that's something because we're gonna get to another version of Collector soon. And then 7th place is.
Do you want to start from the bottom? All right, there you go. Alyssa back with her Avengers team.
You didn't play against her, did you, Roland?
No,
I did not. I did not face this team, so.
Did you, Jeff?
No, I didn't play her.
Okay, because this is this team is a little bit harder to fight with Thanos. Yeah, you need to roll kind of high. It's much harder because you won't be able to shoot, which means you have to get close.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Leopard will just make you miss. Because Thanos has to punch.
Mm-hmm.
So if he punches, it's going to be a 10 on 17s and 8. Like it's going to be okay. So you're going to be at 10, but then you're going to have the modifier makes you go down to 9.
Yeah, that's hard to hit.
Right, like and then the lowest defense that they have, I think, is a 17. So you would just need to roll 8s.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I got that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
On combat reflexes to that as well.
Well, no, they won't be able to because he has Nighthawk.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right. He was running Nighthawk, yeah. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, because when they played in the finals, that's what it was. It's like Anthony needed a 1-8 to knock out that knock out the Black Leopard, not Leopard, the Black Widow. And then it was like open season because like, oh, she's gone. Okay, now I can just mind control you all the time. It's like, okay. But I think this is a scarier team to fight, because obviously if Nighthawk does go down, then Sakarian can do some work. But yeah, I mean that is tough. I think it's a much harder with the barriers, which I think when we get to that. What do you think of this? What do you think of teams like this, Roland? Like these kind of like almost defensive shells?
So for a defensive team like this, in like the history of Heroclix, they don't really win. Like historically, they don't win. They make the top 8, they make the top 16, but it just takes one crit hit for the team to be broken. And it's a team
every
like this,
time. Every time.
What do I always say? What do I always say, Jeff, when I say about defense teams?
Hope is not a strategy, my friends.
There you go.
I mean,
hope is not a strategy, because that's what it is. You just hope they don't hit.
Yeah, I remember one Gen Con when somebody was playing a defensive shell, Scarlet Witch LE. I token you so you keep missing your attack rolls. Lost to a Green Lantern Mandarin Ring tower who rolled a crit, and he lost that way. So
yeah,
I can't remember that guy's name. Who was that?
Wait, that was me. What the hell?
That was you. That's right.
Oh, shit.
That was me, dude. For real, man. That was like, oh god. Thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, that was very, very painful. Yeah. I was on my way to winning and getting into the top 4, and then he's like, whatever. I was like, I can't do anything, so I'm just gonna put on the disintegration beam and go for it, and then crit it. Oh well, there goes my battery. There goes my stuff. I'm like, okay, well, and then because the extra the part that hurt me was the extra +1, the damage plus the knockback was enough to one-shot Banshee, because he just like, if he just hit for 4 is fine, but then the crit hit for 5 and then knock back to 6 just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and he's dead. I'm like, well, that's it. I'm like, all right, cool.
Good game.
But yeah, that was I think that is completely like you're right. Like it can only go so far, because that one time, that's all it takes is one time.
And looking at Alyssa's team right here, so it's a defensive team that I know she's been working on for a bit, but I look at the team and I'm like, if it goes first, it should win. It's going to have a high win percentage. If it goes second and the opponent can take the pin particles,
it makes it much
drops drastically. So you're playing a team that's dependent on map roll, like more than most teams are.
Yeah, the map rolls are like, that is very scary with objects, because map roll is very important, because if they take the key object, especially if your team is based off of an object.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, we've already seen this. I think we've talked about this ad nauseum, but I wanted to get your opinion on this, Roland. All right, so the 6th place,
Anthony Baragon.
Yeah, so here's the first of the 2 Gamoras.
So we have an Asgardian theme +8, 60-point Gamora Prime, 50-point Rocket Raccoon, 50-point Party Thor, 25-point Darcy, 25-point Enchantress from the Fast Forces, 25-point Odin, that's Foki from Thor Ragnarok, 25-point Surtur, 20-point Split Lip, Octopus Arms, Null's Hammer. That's the one that gives you running shot willpower, right?
Yeah. So yeah, this is like Landers played like a similar version of this, but with Recruiter Thor, but also he had Beta Ray Bill, like the Legacy.
Yes. And
he went 3-2, right? Or 2-2 or something like. Yeah, he went 2-2.
Yeah.
So I think teams like this are pretty strong. So he played the low point Gamora. She's only 4 clicks, so she could just go down one shot. But if he can get to them, it's pretty brutal. I asked him why Rocket Raccoon and not Recruiter Thor, and his answer was very simple. I don't have multiple Surturs.
It's fair.
because he's like, basically if Party Thor dies, or these other guys that you can call in, like these, you can recruit her in a Surtur or a 20-point Frost Giant or whatever, but he's just like, I just don't have those, so I just put Rocket. I'm like, okay, it works. I mean, he got top 8.
Yeah.
So I think teams like this have more exploration, I guess, because as Guardian has a lot more to offer.
Yeah, especially with that the last floor set was a huge big one. So hopefully in the future we get some more floor stuff.
Roland, do you prefer the new Surtur or the original Surtur, like the Legacy Surtur, or the one from Mighty Thor original?
If I'm remembering correctly, the new Surtur doesn't have the Colossal Indifference. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I like the new ones because when they get in there, then they can also be given an action and punch. I'm looking at that more than what the retaliation ability is.
So there's only one. It's kind of a major difference though. Okay. Number one, it's a power action for Surtur. Is it?
It's free to place adjacent.
It's a free to place. But he needs to hit in order for them to not have defense.
But he can attack anyone.
He can attack anyone. But the old Surtur was when he attacks, they just don't have defense, period.
And the one pen within 2.
And the one pen after. So does that change your opinion on it?
Well, looking at this team, I would say no. And I'm just kind of bringing up the dials here because I didn't get to play it, but I'm looking at Gamora has an 11 attack value. Rocket has a 12. Party Thor has a 12. Surtur has a 12.
Mm-hmm.
He has 4 characters that can attack and drop dice on there. Yeah, they are one-shottable by a lot of them on there, but if one goes down, the other 3 can make up for it. And if Gamora, Rocket, or Party Thor get KO'd, Surtur can come in and be that 4th attacker again. So he's always dropping dice 4 times a turn once you get to the mid-game. That's going to win you games. It got him to the top 8 that way. So I think for this particular build where you're going a small ball, I like that 4th backup attacker.
Wait, but what are you saying? Surtur's attacking 4 dice. He can only attack once in a turn.
No. 4 characters are attacking. So
okay.
Rocket, Surtur, Party Thor, they all can attack. Once the game gets going, they're all attacking.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, does the fact that he has to hit for them to not have defense matter versus the original one where they just don't have defense at all when he attacks? Make a difference.
Because I think this Surtur's role is just you are the 4th attacker, not to get past defense on a retaliation. And
wait, just note this is the original one. It's not the Legacy Surtur.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that was the Legacy. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. That's why I'm saying like. He like Jeff would put like Legacy or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, it's tough because the other one can be situationally good, but I still have to go with the OG Surtur. I think that extra ping puts him over the top.
Okay, here's another question. Where there, did you guys run into a lot of Colossals?
Yes. Enough.
Yeah, there was enough.
Enough. Well, if that's the case, then the OG Surtur's better because he can just attack them after.
Shoot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For the same
but
side.
If there wasn't like if it was a bunch of like your team, Roland, where you didn't have a Colossal, then the new Surtur's better.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that it seems from May till now, it seems like teams went from 2 Colossals or 2 Retaliators down to 1. Mm-hmm. So most teams dropped that second one.
Right. Yeah, okay. All right, let's move on to the 5th place. And this is the other one that we're talking about. About a different way to build a collector. So take it away, Roland. This is your guy.
So when Collector first got previewed, Patrick was like, oh, I like those traits. I think there's a team around with it. We never could get anything initially. We just sort of left it on back burner. And then at some point in prepping for this past weekend, I had some extra time and I just kind of threw a joke team together to message him and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And it was Collector and Highfather with like a bunch of 20-point figures. I'm like, what do you think of that? And he's like, surprisingly to me, he says, I like it. Let's see if we can actually get something from the Swarm side of it. So I built a better version of it, like a more serious one. And my initial thought was, I want 2 of every rarity on there. And because of that, I'm going Swarm. So we have to go the best, most efficient characters we have. And if I can find them with hard to kill or stop clicks, like Human Torch, that's 2 clicks but has a stop click. Daredevil, that has his Six's trait.
Yeah.
Even better, put it on the team, and that was then Genesis. A lot of searching on the realms, a lot of playing solitaire on the table, matching this is in this set, this is this rarity, what do we need, where we're at, and it eventually ended up on this one. The final piece that made it go was the Mary Jane Watson piece. The issue Patrick was running into was number of actions. His limiting resource was the number of actions his team can do. Mary Jane comes in, she's autonomous, and she creates up to 3 autonomous pogs. It gave him more to do in a turn with more of the field, whether it's an in-cap or a tie-up or whatever, and that kind of allowed the tempo to get back where it needed to be.
Yeah. This is definitely an exercise in team building and searching on the realms.
Oh, yeah. Because there are plenty of times where we're like, oh, what about this figure? Oh, we have same set. We can't use it. We already have the number one from that set. Yeah.
I love the piece. It's like it's well designed. It's so it makes it so that little 25-point piece, just like, it's so crazy because you're building around a 25-point piece,
supercharger for your team.
But it's not but it's the points are so low that you can actually build the whole team.
Right.
Whereas some pieces are like, well, this is 100 points for me to build around. Like, for example, Highfather. Like, oh, I can build around Highfather team, but he's 130, so you're really constrained.
Yeah.
But this guy, my gosh, it's just like the gloves are off and you just boom.
And the difference between this team and the 8th place team, Julio's, and I actually played Julio twice over the weekend, is both of the games against Julio, on turn 2, I went and I got an easy kill, and I took out one of his rarities, and it took away his attack value.
Oh, attack value. Yes. That's
that was gone after turn 2. Whereas with a build like this, the goal was to keep it as long as you can. If somebody really wanted to take out the weak slot, which was the uncommons, they would have to expose characters to try to do that.
Right. Yeah. And in order for them to do that, they're going really hard on 10 points.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, go ahead, man. You overextended just to give me the okay. Well, now, I lost 10, but like you're about to lose 100 right now.
Yep, because Patrick's philosophy when he was playing, kind of what he kept in his mind was, Flash goes out first. Flash got 35 points. Flash is going to die. I'm up 5 points. The next figure gets more points than they're worth, even if it's just 25 or 30. But then I lose them, and I'm losing 15.
Right.
It just always trying to make sure they get more, because in a high-level tournament, especially with a team like this that has a lot of figures, you're getting 4 to 6 rounds in on that.
Right.
And all you have to do is be like, I just need to get more points for the character that just died.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
I like it.
So let's move on to the 4th place, and this one had a lot of discussion here. So we'll talk about this some more. Jeff, you want to explain? Okay, you can go over the team and explain what it does.
All right,
because this is it's pretty ingenious. It's always been around, but nobody actually put it together. Nobody actually put in the time. So like the fact that Jackson did this is like, he deserves all the credit.
It's funny. He sat down. He's like, I'm gonna have to explain this to you. And I actually looked at it. I know what's happening here. So it was good. All right. So he has Magneto, Chase, AOA.
Well, it's X-Men theme. So it's an X-Men theme first.
X-Men theme +8. So Uncanny X-Men, Chase, Magneto.
Yeah.
Two little scrap metal markers up there, right? 30-point Ultron. It can be anyone. I think he had the future one. 25-point Professor X. 25-point Professor X swap. So 2 of them. Iceman, 2x2. X-Student, X-Trainee, Multiple Man, Power Gem, Cloak of Levitation. So it's been a while since you guys have seen the Ultron drones, but you pay 30 points for them. They count for 120 points
when they're on the board.
Yeah. So when the swapping starts, he's now swapping out a 120-point figure that he paid 30 points for. So
he's getting 90 points.
90 points. So what he does is he gets in A, he gets in Mimic, Venom Magneto, Jubilee, the White Cape Magneto, and Moira Murtagrett and Beast. He swaps all that in and swaps pretty much everything else out in here. Oh, he also brings in Dark Phoenix. So lots of switching, but he's gaining 90 points. And
okay, so yeah, go ahead, and then I'm gonna jump in after. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So basically, he's getting a free Chase A out of it because how many points? He's about 90 points, right?
He's 70.
He's 70. Okay.
Yeah, so free Chase A and half of a Magneto out of him.
All right. All right. It's Apocalypse. Let's not do the artist formerly known as Prince. He's fucking Prince. All right. This is what the upside is. You're getting 90 points, and now the debate was like, is that too strong? I'm firmly on that it's not. And I'm a data guy, facts over feelings, and the facts don't support that it is. But I always say wait and see. Show me, don't tell me.
Yeah, it's the first time the teams came out, so
exactly.
There's room for improvement.
So if it gets crazy, then obviously, but right now no, because we're not going to just like ban something because it happened one time. Like it could just be an anomaly, or maybe people know or whatever. Anyway, the downside to this is Apocalypse that you're bringing in counts as 150 points. So the point value of, and then a lot of these other pieces, when they come in, their point values are also going to be. I think Apocalypse is the only one that's like that many points, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think everyone else is the same. But if you KO him, that's 150 points. He's not that hard to kill because he's only 4 or 5 clicks, and if you build a team with like Gamora, that's a flurry for him to die, and he's gone.
Otherwise, you gotta double tap him, right? Because he heals off the stop click.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean it's not that bad. The other thing is the amount of like resources that you are putting on your sideline as a to make this work means you don't have other things on your sideline.
Yeah, no trouble alerts, no troublemakers.
Right? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, maybe destroyer. I don't know. And the other thing too is this team hemorrhages points when they start doing the Krakoan revival, and it. Every time I see a Krakoan revival team lose, it's because they used it a couple times and they just couldn't make up the points. Because the more you use the Krakoan revival, the longer your opponent can play their turn. Because now they get an autonomous Pog that can do something, and now they have to make that decision. You do it again, then you get another one. Next thing you know, you have like 3 Pogs and then time ran out because you were, you know what I mean? And that kind of like, I think that happened with you, Roland. Like he used it twice and you're like, well, I have 2 guys that can do stuff.
So I played Jackson in the preliminary rounds, and the clock was his enemy, not me.
Yeah.
But he wasn't mindful of the clock at all. When his first action that he did to start round 1 probably happened 8 minutes after time started because he was doing so much with his team. He was explaining to me. I had questions.
Yes.
I needed to follow along. Then he started doing something, and he never played with a sense of urgency until like maybe 5-6 minutes before the round ended, where he's like, "Oh, I need to do stuff." And we had finished 4 rounds. We probably only got 4 or 5 rounds in this game at best, right?
Right. Yeah. And right.
Every time I'm doing something, I have to ask him a legitimate question. What's the point value of this? Let me record it. Oh, you're giving me even something as simple as this. I KO'd a figure, he revives it. I'm like, okay, I get a Pog. May I see your card because I don't have one in front of me. He has to fumble for his card, then he gives me one. I then spend 10, 20 seconds choosing the Pog. I choose this Pog. Do you have that to give to me? No. Well, let me go in my case, pull out a token, put it on the map. Next thing you know, a minute and a half has gone by for nothing. No action even happened, but I'm actively having to do something for the game. The judge is watching. You're not stalling. You're like, the order of operations require all this time to be spent.
There's a couple other things too with that. Number one, you get to decide which pog. Okay, so that's a decision. The second one is you get to put it next to one of your guys.
Yep.
Well, that's another decision in itself because you're like, where do I want to put them? Do I want to put them by flash? Do I want to put them by here, right? And then on top of that, they're autonomous. So like you have another action to do.
Yep.
Got choices.
And then what happened was you got the pog and then you killed another piece.
Yep.
And then it recycled all over again.
Yep.
And then by then time was called, and then since he was first, Roland's like, well, it's my turn. I'm done, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing happened with Clay when he played against Clay. It was the exact same thing.
Okay.
The only difference was it took longer because when Clay's doing mind control, he's mind controlling 10 guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So each one of them is taking whatever. So that's part of like the cost of playing a team like this. And another important thing that I think people should note: beginning of game, start of the game triggers. When time starts, that's when you do all that. So when he's swapping out all his stuff, that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Deciding what to like all that takes time. So I think you got to be very mindful if you play a team like this that maybe you don't go the Krakoan revival route and just like try to go more. If you just want to get the value and be more aggressive, go for it. But I think the revival is a detriment, right?
So Jackson lost to another player before he played me. Do you know what team he lost?
Yeah, Thanos.
Me.
Oh,
that's me.
Okay. Oh, he lost to you. Okay.
Yeah, I played him round 1.
So that's another problem because like Jeff's team is essentially like a point denial team. You can't get more than like 50, for the most part, you're
got
probably
30 points from me.
You're going to kill Split Lip and Carnage and like good luck trying to kill Nighthawk. And then in return, you're going to score like 60, 70, 80 points just from Thanos alone.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. So that is I think an issue with a team like this, but who knows? Maybe it could be tweaked. But I like things like this because I think that this is the format where there should be cool things like this happening. And kudos to him for discovering it, right?
Yeah, I'll give him props for putting in the research time on this. Patrick and I talked about this afterwards because we were looking at X-Men. We were waiting for X of Swords. X-Swap was there. And we have other ideas that can build off of this too. It's an X-Swap team, but it's not I'm trying to get 390 on the board. You can run, because you can run one where I'm an X-Swap, but I'm going to have a counter for somebody, like say a Darwin's or a Beast or whatever. You can run one where he's going sort of hit a lot of figures on the map that didn't do anything. Well, if you want to go bigger figures, swap 150 for 150. Swap 100 for 100 and just get an extra 100-point character on the map and just go beef.
Yeah, that's that's another way. You know what's the interesting thing about that though? You're saying that like, yeah, if you really want to get the value, change this Ultron to 120-point X-Men. Yeah.
Yep.
That might be the way to go.
Yeah, don't foo-foo around. Just like, no, we're beef. We're gonna roll dice. We're gonna hurt you. So. And
let's see what happens. Yeah, that's a good one. So this is something to look for. This is something to look out for, obviously. But I think it's cool. There has to be a lot of, like I said, like very powerful things that needs to go on in a format like this because it's old and there's a lot of interactions that maybe wasn't intended, but it's a cool thing that someone can discover. Like this is the age of discovery in this format right now, because people are still exploring, So
I definitely think we'll see more of this team.
Yeah. I think the other issue is like also trying to get all the pieces for this because there's still a lot of pieces that's hard to get. That Magneto is not easy to get.
No. Beast.
Oh, and then we're into the third place team here.
Hey.
The belle of the ball here. I was gonna make a Cinderella reference, and then it turned into a pumpkin at midnight because it didn't make it all the way. And then somewhere along the line, the glass slipper broke, so you didn't get it.
Yeah,
the slipper didn't fit Gamora.
You can't win them all.
All right, Jeff, go over I guess go over the team, and Roland will tell us all about it.
All right, so Roland had a police theme team +5. He had a
awesome.
full point Gamora Prime with the Guardians of the of the Galaxy ATA. 68 point Lieutenant Gordon from the Dark Knight Rises set. 40 point Martian Manhunter from the JLU starter. 30 point good SR Flash. 25 point Commissioner, Lightning Mandarin Ring, Harley's Hammer.
And a bunch of scrolls and sentinels.
Scrolls and sentinels, yeah.
Lots of scrolls.
Yeah. So the genesis of this team was when I was researching for May, I looked at Prime Gamora. I was looking at negation figures, some characters that can get rid of your defense powers. She was on the list. Looked at her, went a different route. I went Prime Peggy back then, but just kind of had her on the back burner. She kind of had this same problem that everybody online said in Modern. You can outwit her. She's a 125 point character I can outwit. I think in today's modern environment or any age, if a 125 point character doesn't have stop clicks or
protected
outwit, you can't run it. You really can't. So looking for stuff for here, I was looking at Lieutenant Gordon teams for various ways to do that, put that on the back burner. Eventually made my way back to Gamora, and then I came across the Guardians of the Galaxy ATA because I was just kind of seeing if I can do something with her again. Realized that solved the problem. Okay, let's make a theme team around here. I looked at her keywords and I nearly fell out of my chair when it said police. I'm like, police. I've been playing it since.
Baby.
Lieutenant Gordon, what can I do with this? And I just started putting it from there. So Lieutenant Gordon is an old Bronze Age figure that says give him a power action. Lieutenant Gordon and 2 adjacent characters can all be given a move action for free. So they all move individually with Gordon's speed value, which is an 8. So in this case, Lieutenant Gordon, Gamora, and the Flash all are given free move actions, and they go out and they do stuff. Okay, so there's your mobility for the team right there. That gets Gamora and Flash into the fray. Martian Manhunter is a backup mover, so Martian Manhunter has a give him a power action, choose a character he shares a keyword with anywhere on the map. If they have 0 or 1 action tokens, move them half their speed. So Gamora has a 12 speed. She can be moved for 6. Flash has a 13. He can be moved for 7. So you have a backup mobility there. In putting together the team, I realized it needed certain things. One of them was it needed a cheap third attacker. Commissioner was put on there for the rookie, which became my third attacker, but he also had outwit for the team, so it was on there. And he also had his power, which was give him a power action. An adjacent character can make an attack using their printed value. So if he's next to Gamora, can then attack for another 12 and 4.
Did you ever get that off?
I got that off once, maybe twice throughout the day.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. The way that the team played out, Gamora and Flash did all the heavy lifting, with the rookie doing the most part out of that. Gordon would do his ability. Once I kind of moved away from Gordon in the back ranks in the center, if I had to go to the other side of the map, then Lieutenant Gordon wasn't moving them. That's where Martian Manhunter came in. Then Martian Manhunter would move them on the other side of the map. One of the ways early on in an early game it would work is Lieutenant Gordon would move out Gamora. She'd attack. Martian Manhunter would move her back. So it's a bit of a yo-yo. Or if it was farther out, Lieutenant Gordon and Flash would both, or Gamora and Flash would both move out. Gamora would attack. Flash would just carry her back with the Underworld team ability, and you go right back to your formation. So
go ahead.
I was going to say, and then the rings on there, the lightning ring says that if you use multiple bolts in attack, you increase the damage dealt. So Gamora, when she double or triple targets, her trait says she uses her printed damage. So she's dealing 4 to everybody. The lightning ring makes it 5. Harley's hammer, I had 3 points and nothing to do with it. I kind of liked it better than the spear. Day of, they were telling me about Joker's gas. I didn't realize what that did. But Flash never picked up Harley's hammer. I never even thought about picking it up during the day. It never really came up. The idea was if I needed Flash to have Quake or Giant Reach, that's why it's there. It's something other than just running at 297, right?
Right.
But it never came up.
So of the teams, I think so far what we've looked at, I think this and the next team are the only two alpha strike teams where yours is a true alpha, where you can like literally get across the map in one turn, whereas the second place team can do it. It's just in a different way, which we'll look right now. So second place, Clay.
Back with
Dude,
the
Clay's at least.
Bavaria.
I don't think Clay has finished below second in any event he's played. Or no, I'm sorry, below third or fourth. He's made top 4 in every single event he's played.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
All right, so
we gotta do ranking. We gotta do rankings, and I think he's number 1 now. It used to be Alyssa, but she's kind of faltered the last couple, or the last one, and Clay is just still up here. So, all right, go ahead.
All right, so we have a Latveria theme team +7, Doom Annihilating Conqueror, Sky Tyrant, 42-point Batman Prime with the Justice League Dark ATA, Amanda Waller, Justice League ATA, Molecule Man, 2 Flashes with the Justice League ATA, Staff, the Object, Joker Canister, Pim Particles, and friends on the sideline that are Doom and Troublemakers.
So we've already seen this like multiple times. Dan Powell is the one who really championed this in Modern, but in Bronze it just gets. It's basically the same except for the tactics portions, because the ATA is huge for dropping the range, and then there between the Staff, Canister, and Particles, it makes like the Gat Canister makes Sky Tyrant stronger, the Particles makes Batman stronger, and the Staff makes Sky Tyrant stronger because now he has giant reach with the gas canister. So, did you play against? Did either of you guys play against? I mean, I know you did, Jeff, but like Roland, did you play against him?
I did not play against Clay this time. No.
Okay, because I wanted to see like what would happen if he just like mind controlled your guys.
Okay.
And like what happens?
Gamora kills his team.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to spread out. Yeah, so Gamora's one-shotting someone or dealing massive damage.
I'm not familiar with that Prime Batman, so I'm reading him now. So he once per game he's given an action, says he can't use his team ability, and then if he's in a clear square and is given a range action to use Mind Control, Incap, or Side Blast, he can use Improved Targeting, Hindering. This character can make and while adjacent, it may target non-adjacent. And he may instead target all opposing characters with line of fire. So I'm assuming Clay picks a wide open map, ignores hindering, and then can mind control him.
Pim Particles makes him a giant.
So that he would ignore any outdoor barrier and block. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
This is how he beat Jackson.
Okay. I was gonna say so Jackson won map roll, right?
Yeah, and he picked the other world, like
this is his only map.
Yeah, so I think that's a mistake because you're giving Batman a chance to kill your team. Because the other issue, the issue that Jackson ran into was when he did the Alpha Strike with Jubilee, she gets -2 to her range. So she can't reach the back row when she shoots. And then that gives Clay a turn to mind control the entire team. That's a lot of attacks on his side to see if they can die.
And just out of curiosity, how many rounds did this go? Because if Jackson,
I feel like they played 4 turns at most. Man, I think we called time on round 4 because like when time was called, like they were still finishing. Like I think they went 4 rounds.
Because Jackson has a lot of stuff to do before his round 1 really gets started.
Yep.
And then when if Batman goes off, he's mind controlling.
Yep, exactly. This is exactly what we're talking about.
That's a 30-minute round right there.
Yeah.
You know?
You're sitting watching Clay play your team.
Yep, yeah, that's how he won.
Jeff, can you do me a favor? Can you scroll back to my team for a second?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so this is a learning experience for everybody out there. I have 3 maps listed on my build sheet. My primary map when I won was going to be Gotham Museum. That's the only one I picked. It's the only one I ever wanted to use. You notice I have 2 other ones on there because I'm allowed to have 3. Poison Ivy's Greenhouse is an extended starting area map, which if I needed it for some reason, it's there. Arcade's Arena is a wide open map, which if I needed it for some reason, it's there and available. If Jackson only had one map listed, that's his fault. Have an indoor map. You may never pick.
So not on here, but yeah, he only had the Otherworld castle.
But if you run a situation where you're like, oh, the castle is bad for me, I need something else. Have that something else. Maybe you don't need a map that's like, if I specifically play Thanos or Blackheart, I want this map. Nope. Just have them in general, but they're very different than the one you're running. And in my case, Gotham Museum is an indoor one with a lot of walls.
Go
ahead.
There's you have 3 maps for free. Why not use all 3 slots, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Because for a situation just like this.
So I just add on to it, like even a deep level, like when PIM particles are around, like I have to look for a map that I can't get tank dropped on. Like there's specific game elements that are always active that you need to have counters for. Like Batman Prime is something that's always out there. You need a counter.
Yep.
One. So there's one. This should be an article. There is one. Alyssa discovered this when at the regional, at the Rock regional in at Comic Cult.
Uh-huh.
The Fountain of Asgard prevents the boxing ring from being placed. So when we played, I didn't show until we played in the top 8. I played it and I just dropped it out there, and she was just like, "Fuck you."
Oh my god.
Because you couldn't put the boxing ring, so now I don't get the -2 anymore.
Dude, yeah, I remember. Yeah, when those rings were legal, I remember like putting specific like anti-boxing ring maps because that shit's annoying.
If you don't have if anything, you put the Fountain of Asgard map. So the guys at the store that play at the store, if they're not playing ring themselves, they all put Fountain of Asgard as a map because they're like, I only have 2 maps. Put the 3rd one so that you don't get screwed with the WWE ring or boxing ring.
So just to clarify, the boxing ring and the WWE ring say they can't be placed on elevated terrain, correct?
They can be. They just can't be placed on multiple elevations.
That's on multiple elevations, and no 5x5 area.
There is none.
The starting area. Okay.
Yeah. So so a lot of times the boxing ring is used as like obviously as a defensive measure so that they're gonna get -2 when they shoot. Yeah. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
So and then let's go to the winning team, and like the more things change, the more they stay the same. Thanos, this is post. So I think
post-errata.
So I think I think Anthony made a comment to you and you said no. There's a difference. I won with
Jackson made the comment.
Oh, yeah. Jackson goes.
He was like, "Oh, you won with Thanos." And I was like, "No, I won with errata Thanos."
Yeah, there's a huge difference playing with Thanos post errata and also playing Alchemical Fire post errata. Like, you didn't play we have to take out Alchemical Fire because it sucks now. It doesn't suck, but it's not. Yeah, okay.
It's not as efficient as it was pre-errata.
Yes, but it was completely busted with Thanos. Alchemical Fire. That's why we changed the list. This is why so Anthony played this. He played a similar version of this, but with Alchemical Fire. When the errata came out, I told Jeff we have to cut it to change it to 2 things, and these 2 things I think made the difference. Dude, so go ahead and talk about the team, and then like we could talk about the change.
All right, so Legacy Thanos, of course, Nighthawk Prime, Switlip Carnage, Millennium Puzzle, Star Sapphire Ring. The changes were the Zero Mandarin Ring and the Iron Avengers Assemble location bonus.
Dude, why? Okay, so number 1, the Zero Ring, so gross. And I watched the games. I was like, I think I'm just like, this is dumb. So the Zero Ring is free barrier 1 square, and then you just barrier. So
people would see me do the 5 barriers. I just put my Nighthawk in the corner, then people just see the 5 barriers. And then they would just be like, what do you do? You have to attack Thanos, right?
What happens is they're forced to attack Thanos now and that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because Thanos has the puzzle in the ring, supposedly. And then the Iron Avengers means you don't have to choose time all the time because you have prob.
Yes.
And that comes, and randomly that Iron Avengers can give Nighthawk a +1 to his shape change if need be. And he can carry around Split Lip if he wants. And Sage can shoot with the enhancement from Split Lip. There's like random things that can work, but really it's just it's a Thanos team. But really also you played Lieutenant Gordon.
Yes.
Jeff played Nighthawk Prime.
Mm-hmm.
These things have been like staples of modern formats in years past, and they're still good. Oh, Split Lip too. Split Lip.
Yeah.
So Nighthawk Prime and Split Lip, like I think you were asking when you first came back, you're like, why don't they play Nighthawk? I'm like, they just don't know, man. People just don't know.
Yeah. Dude, he was my MVP. Like, protected Thanos so much with them not being able to increase their stats.
That's number one. But number two, Batman Prime, you just laugh at Batman because he can't mind control the team.
No.
But you made a really good point why people don't opt to play pieces like Nighthawk when it comes to primes. You were talking about this, Roland. Remember?
Yes. So for most players now, they view their prime slot as like the gold slot. I have to get a prime on my team, and I have to build around the prime. So for primes that are, and if I'm not running a prime, I want Prime Destroyer on my sideline. So the primes are more important. That if you run one that just works with your team or does something else, but I don't get this prime. I'm sacrificing my prime slot. It's that valuable, that important. And so they're not seeing the value of having a secondary character or a support character or a meta character be your prime. They want it to be, I have to build around it, or it has to be Destroyer, or I can't waste my prime slot,
Like, yeah, basically they want it to be the main thing, or like one of the main things, either an attacker or just have some powerful effect. Like, if you want to look at it like Gamora, right? Like that they would definitely play Gamora because she can attack, and also Batman Prime because he's not a support piece; he's an attacker.
Right.
But
Destroyer is an attacker.
Yeah, but if you look at Nighthawk or even like you played Peggy, they don't. Yes. They're not there for attacking. They're there for the support piece. They can attack,
right? But
they don't normally attack.
Black Leopard would fall into that too.
Yeah. See, Black Leopard but Black Leopard is also an attacker, right? Like, I've seen Alyssa just like charge people in with their like 17 defense and his like 12 attack, And
Black Leopard also is the combo of the team, whereas Peggy Carter is just character, the third and fourth attacker, or the character that can take out defenses. Yeah,
Nighthawk Prime is the same thing, same way. Yeah, a lot of times they're just kind of sitting there. So I think that's another way to look at it, because another one that people would play more over pieces like this would be Micron, because Micron can also attack. Like, he's a solid attacker. Now, which brings me to, because we were talking about this too, a piece like Jasper.
I was just gonna bring that up, yeah.
Why, like, if Jasper it definitely falls under the Nighthawk Prime, Peggy Carter support, right? Like, why would I pay this 35 points for this piece that really doesn't do anything? But I think, given the right circumstances, Jasper could be very, very strong, because on the low end, Jasper is a 5-point piece because he can bring in a 30-point gauntlet, which offsets his 35 points.
Yeah,
to 5. So now, if you wanted to look at it like that, your 5-point piece now has free barrier and perplex because you got a gauntlet with it. Where do you guys fall on pieces like Jasper when it comes to, like, do you think Jasper is going to be good in bronze?
Yeah, I think he's going to see a lot of play. I think people are going to build around the objects on the sideline to it's kind of like it makes anybody good now because you can give anyone an object.
Now
you don't have to worry about getting stolen. It's just
not only can they get an object, but you can set your sideline up for specific things against specific characters or teams. So
Swiss Army knives it.
Do I need barrier?
That's what I was saying. Like,
yeah.
That's what I was saying. The floor for Jasper is he's a 5-point prime that brings in a gauntlet or a cosmic cube or whatever. Some.
If you want to get crazy, right?
Yeah, but like, you can really go crazy with the switching out and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Enchanted Crowbar would be a great addition to bronze. Something that gives you battle fury, so you can get out around the shape change. Does anything give you precision? Is there objects that give?
Yeah,
There's an object. There's a Mandarin ring that gives you precision.
Yeah.
So
So you can go down the chain. You know what's nuts too? Can you? So oh my! I just realized this. If you played a bunch of figures that just start with objects, and you start switching them out to the sideline, you can switch those back into other people with their object. Oh my god, this guy's like Trader on steroids.
Yeah, he really is.
For Jasper's Power, it says free, choose an equipped friendly character within range and line of fire. Replace their equipment with another equipment of equal or less points from your sideline. You can do it multiple times. You can recycle the equipment. So you're like, okay, I need Barrier to prevent the Alpha Strike. So Barrier starts. Once the Alpha is done, I don't need the Barrier. Now I go to Perplex or TK.
Shape change or something, right?
Yeah, TK.
Whatever.
I don't need it anymore. I switch it over to Prob. I need Battle Fury to get past all the shape change. You just work on that. And 35 points, if you can find top tier attackers and top tier combo that doesn't require a prime, he goes on your team to make your front line that much better.
Dude. And you know what? And he has just 2 free barriers, so he is a defensive piece by himself.
Yeah.
Wait, does he have barrier and free barrier, or is it just free barrier?
Both barrier, and then barrier is free for only 2, so he can make 6 in a turn.
So it's like he has a wall construct, right?
So he's Molecule Man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's 5 more points. And wait, they're both so you're telling me I could play Cosmic, I could play Jasper and Molecule Man together?
Yep.
They're never getting inside. They're never getting inside. Let's be honest. They're never getting inside this. They're not getting inside this house. Oh god. That's a lot of barrier, man. Pass. That's a lot of barrier, dude.
So this is something that we kind of have been talking about for the last couple months when I've been getting back into it. And Pat always says that it's a copycat league, right? You have to show the people something, they're going to copy it. You've showed them Nighthawk Prime. You've showed them Gamora Prime. At some point, somebody will play the Jasper Molecule Man double barrier team. And the players out there can do one of 2 things. They can copy it, which is yawn, or you can then take the next evolution and we're like, okay, you're going to play that team. I'm playing a character that destroys blocking terrain on movement. One 30-point character can take out your house, and now I'm in your house, in your grill, and beating the crap out of you.
Yeah.
So.
Damn, I feel personally attacked right there.
I'm saying we're teaching the players.
No, I know. No, you're right. No, I'm just joking. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. And I've talked about this with Jeff too. I was like, people are going to be playing this the next event, so you should play this to beat that.
Yeah.
So that's why I think
more Thanos this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of Nighthawks too. I mean, well, maybe not. I just really like, Nighthawk is just, man, like, how many times, you know what? There would have been a nice thing for you to track, Jeff. How many times you have to remind someone why they don't have a boost? Ooh, it would have probably been over 20 because
it wasn't every game. It was every game.
Every game, because I would come by and they would say, "Well, I'm unhindering and I have reflexes and this." You're like, "I have Nighthawk," and they go, "Oh, you're right." Like every time.
I'm gonna perplex movement. I'm like, "No, you're not gonna do that."
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, "Well, I gotta also have a plus. I have this to my range." Like, no, you don't. And I was like, and you always point it over to and it was always the guy in the corner because
you know what? I did not forget once.
Yeah,
that was key.
My
remembering his skills
is running low on power, so it might drop out on me a minute. So
okay, no worries. Okay,
say my goodbyes now, or say thanks.
Okay, well,
for this.
Yeah, let's
tell us about your event.
Yeah, let's hype up the event before you go.
Okay, so this coming weekend, August 6th and 7th.
Can you bring it up, Jeff? There it is. Boom. Oh, look at that. There it is.
Yeah, so this coming weekend, Las Vegas is hosting their Majestix Championship Qualifier. It's the first big event that Vegas has hosted since the shutdown. Majestix, WizKid stuff, everything like that. We haven't had one in a long time. So we're bringing it back here with the Majestix series. Ours is actually going to be a 2-day event. We're having the prelims on Saturday with the cut and battle royals on Sunday. We're working to make it an event feel for the prizing, the activities that we have. We're going to have a vendor on site selling Heroclix, selling the gaming accessories, selling board games. Pat will be there as well, buying Heroclix and buying collections. So that will also be there if you are in the area and are looking to do that. Free to come in. If you want to play in the tournament, great. If you want to play Battle Royal, that's awesome. If you just want to come by and hang out and say, what's up? It's been a while. A lot of things that we had put into this and ideas. For instance, we have 2 Bronze Age Builder Awards that we're going to be giving out. We have some stipulations of how you have to do that. One of them has to be a Bronze Age floor team. 150 points has to be from superior foe sets. If you build that, you qualify for that Bronze Age builder. The second one is...
Are you talking about superior?
Before superior foes?
Before superior.
Before superior. So every old card set. Yep. And then the second one is going to go to the team who has their core mechanic. Their core is based off of a Bronze Age figure. For instance, a Lieutenant Gordon is part of the core of my team. That's how you would qualify for that. And then also we are going to have a fellowship for Saturday, and they're going to get a custom painted Angel figure from X-Men Deep Cuts. So that's what we're going to have our fellowship prize.
So we also talked about this that we're going to do.
Yep.
We're going to do. I'm going to bring. We're gonna do kind of like a gunslinger that they do at card games. I'm gonna bring 3 teams, and then also we're gonna have a brick of X of Swords, and they buy it. Whoever, I think they're gonna have to pay like Dustin, like Troll Skull, whatever,
right?
To buy the boosters, and we'll play sealed. And if they win, they get a prize. And or if they want to try their luck at constructed, there'll be 2 levels. There's the casual one, which is, I think, the casual one. I would love to make it. I'm gonna make a team that's 150. That's gonna be the bronze floor.
Okay.
I think that would be the closest to casual I can think of. And then we're gonna go. So there's the casual. Then there's the competitive, which is more like it's gonna be a theme team, but it's gonna be something you'd probably see at an event. Mm-hmm. And then there's worlds level where anything goes. We're just gonna see what. So I'm gonna give you 3 options, and then sealed. Each one. You pay the entry to whatever, to Troll Skull or you guys. I think it may be better to go to you guys. Pay $5 or whatever. We'll play a game, and then if you win, get a prize of whatever. Like I'll bring like an OP kit or something.
So.
Oh wait, did he break off?
I think he froze.
Okay. Well, if he broke off, then I guess we could. Thanks for coming, Roland. But yeah, I guess he's gone. Okay. Well, but anyway.
So I have a question.
That's Vegas this weekend. So go ahead.
So do they get a better prize the harder the team they beat?
It depends. Like I have to. This is what I have to talk to them about. Like who's going to provide the prize? Like I can bring little things, but if they wanted to go more, then they would have to bring it. Because like I could just bring little OP kit, like legacy cards, little things like that.
Yeah.
But really, it's just there for them to play. If they don't want to play in the event or whatever. And also I have the you saw the spinning wheel that they can also spin that. It's just like it's basically like a carnival. And also I'm gonna have that booth where I'm gonna be at. I need people to come in there and sell me their stuff.
Yeah, bring your shit, sell it to Pat, guys.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited, dude. Like Clay and I are leaving on Friday night.
Fun.
Yeah. Too bad you can't come with us, man. It would be awesome. Like, but
whatever. I'll see you on Wednesday though. I'm coming to the event.
Oh, that's right. You already won. So, we got a note. Since Jeff is part of the staff, he cannot play in the 2K. So this is why it's being passed down to Clay. So he's participating in the event, but since he's running, he's helping me run the invitational.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be. We're just gonna be passing it down second place. But Jeff just let everybody know that like, hey, don't mess with me. So
I had to remind.
That's what it was like. Like, hey, I'm still here, guys. Just know. And also, thanks for avenging me and Alyssa by beating Jackson.
Oh, I did. He beat me last time too. I did avenge myself.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Hey, man, I'm telling you, like Jackson's really good. He's a young kid too. I don't even think he's like 21 or something like that. Like, he's still like in school, right?
Baby face.
But he's really good. I was giving him. I'd make sure I had to give him his props and praise him for that team. Yeah. That he built, and then he built the Jason team. So I was like, you're like. You put in the work, man. I was just really telling him, like, I even asked him to write an article about it because I'm like, dude, things like that, like, you should get rewarded for taking the time to come up with teams like that and come up with strategies, whatever,
Dude, I love the fact that you get all the extra points. Like, it's so ingenuitive. It's
yeah, I think it's really cool.
It's bringing a new archetype to the format, I think.
Yeah,
because X-Men's so huge. Like, you could tweak that in so many ways.
Now we'll see how crazy it gets. I know that, okay, what do you think about it? What do you think about the whole thing? Because I have a different view. Because Clay was making, he makes a good argument that, like, we're not supposed to be playing 390. Like, I get it, but I also said, well, if you're playing Reign of Terror with Blackheart, you're getting a 25 points like every turn.
Yeah, there's other ways
that's just as bad
to generate extra points onto the field. Like, even like Master Mold, you roll for free, or like you said, the Black Hearts. So there's ways to do it.
Dooms.
Right? This is This is just the newest version.
It's just the newest version, but it takes a lot of work to do too.
Dude, just getting your head wrapped around the numbers and making sure you have the right figures. Like, that's a lot of research. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But we'll see see how many giant-sized X-Men teams that come out now.
So we'll see how abusive it can get. I still, for me, if the argument cannot be, for me, it cannot be the points. I understand the point of, well, it's going over the points. Like, just from just playing, you're starting the game with that. But I would counter that. Look how much effort that takes to do that. And number two, I don't see the difference with something like Blackheart, Emperor Gladiator, Doom. I'm sure there are other pieces that just brings extra guys, period, right? Like, aren't there people that just also, like,
bystanders? Yeah, bystanders that do crazy stuff.
Like Jason Wingard bringing two guys. I mean, that to me, that's more egregious, right? Don't you think?
He brings Dr. Demonicus fives. Yeah, that's
like 4-handed fives. That's I would.
How much points is Dr. Demonicus?
Yeah, so I would rather play. I would rather play against a 390 point team any day of the week than a 300 point Jason Wingard team with 4-handed fives.
I would agree with that.
I would not blink. I would not think twice after watching what that Pog can do and doing it 4 times in a turn or 4 times in a game.
With an Empower right there. So it's like 20 clicks of damage that they can dish out.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's not even counting Jason Wingard's like chain mind control that he could do. There's that too. But it's another thing. And I also think what's more egregious is Batman. Like, that's way more egregious. Because you can have a 600 point team, but if Batman mind controls your whole team to kill your team, that's worse.
That's like you having a 900 point team because you're using their team and yours, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's more of a problem, and obviously Thanos being able to ignore everything for his mind control too. Like there are degrees on this. If the argument was it's too strong, then we can look at it. But if it's just numbers, I don't think that.
Or if it's taking too much time at the beginning of the game.
There you go. I think that now, if it takes too much time and you're winning, that's a problem. But if it takes too much time and you're losing, it's not a problem because that's your fault.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to look at. If it's an issue like Legion and fucking plastic explosives and stuff like that, okay, then we have to, or Black Glove Demon, whatever. Like, if anything, for me, I'm really starting to think mind control is too strong.
Mind control's
because
stupid.
Think of the three things that I just named. I named Jason Wingard, Batman Prime, and Thanos. What do all three of them
control.
Do? Dude, I think that's where. Okay, so
they even nerfed mind control the last time they changed it, right?
Because they
took away its chart. Like you get to use the actual powers before, if I remember correctly. Now they also
Okay.
I rewind. Originally, they nerfed it when they took away you using the powers. Now they boosted it again when they made everything passive.
Well, that's right and wrong. You were given the old one was you were given one action as free, which means you can use flurry, you can use charge, you can use pulse wave, whatever. Yeah. Hyper, right. Then they took that out, but because the new rules made everything passive, you could just use it anyway.
Got it.
But before, that's what they did. So originally, when they had free mind control like this, it was Brother Voodoo. Mm-hmm. Okay. Brother Voodoo was, if he had one action token, he can mind control for free. And when he used mind control, he had +1 attack, and he gave them +1 attack. So when you got mind control, they get +1 attack. So Brother Voodoo was so disruptive in the format that they put him on the watch list.
Yeah.
But after he was on the first watch list, and at the end of the watch list, when they did it, like Shatterstar was on their team-based Spiral, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He was the only one that didn't get an errata. So we already have precedent that mind control figures like this is too strong.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we have to be aware of when we are looking at like what we should be
mindful of,
looking at for the mindful of. But I think, like I said, this is bronze. Just like in other games, when it's older format, it's supposed to be broken. Like bronze, the bronze should just be called the bronze broken builder or something, whatever. Like that's just the nature of it, right? Like this is where all the combos happen, and this is why everybody likes it. Yeah. But we also have to make sure it doesn't get degenerate.
Yeah, it can be broken, not degenerate.
Yes. Do we need to change because remember our thing is this is the team builder's paradise.
Yeah.
I think we need to change it to it can be broken, it just can't be degenerate. I think that should be I'm gonna put that somewhere.
Let's put that on a shirt.
I'm gonna put that on
a shirt.
or on a pog.
Yes.
Like I think that's a great one. That's a good one. It can be broken, but it can't be degenerate. Yes. Because there's a lot of broken things that are in bronze right now. I mean, Shatterstar is busted.
Just port
Batman with pimp particles is busted.
Thanos by himself.
Thanos by himself is busted. Like, I mean, like there's a lot, right? There's a lot. So, okay. What was that? There was one more thing I wanted to bring up. But what? Okay. Oh yeah. So we were talking about this right before we went on. So we have two more. Which are so the first event where X of Swords is legal is Oregon, or I'm sorry, Washington, Chehalis, Washington, and then Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. Both of those events are going to have X of Swords legal, but tarot cards are going to be tentatively on the ban list. So we're going to put those on the ban list. We're basically treating those like horde tokens, like you just can't play them. So
yeah,
we probably just put them on the ban list with the horde tokens, whatever. But we don't know if it will stay there. But what it is right now we're in a wait and see how it plays out in Modern. But currently right now, it's off.
Holding pattern to see.
Yeah. We need more. I think we need more data. I'm really leaning towards. I mean, look, Adam was the first one to. If Adam brings it up, if Adam brings up that we should ban something, that we have to look at it because Adam doesn't take. Yeah, he does not suggest something to be banned or unbanned unless it's really warranted, because he really takes a deep dive into these things, and then obviously we're gonna talk about it and stuff. But he originally said this, and I was already leaning towards it, and then when he said up, like, okay, well, maybe we should at the very least put it on the list for now, and then let's see what happens. But I mean, I'm just curious to see how is Nationals this weekend or next weekend? Wait, when is Gen Con?
I feel like it's this weekend. I could be wrong. I thought when we looked, it was this
weekend.
Yeah,
it is this weekend. So it is weekend. So we're not gonna get to see the tarot cards.
No, probably not till Worlds, or just in your local venues.
Yes. Oh, geez.
Well, because besides Gen Con, is there any other large Heroclix events besides ours going on?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Yeah. I say there hasn't been any other events going on.
No. Yeah, because I think all the nationals and stuff is like basically done unless they announced other things.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool how all the other countries had their nationals before the U.S.
Yeah, that's.
No, I'm genuinely saying that. Like, I'm not being facetious.
Yeah. So you can. So we need to put up so we'll do it after this weekend.
Yeah.
You can put up the U.S., Canada, Singapore, Mexico, and UK. Just the winning list. Yeah. If you want to just make a new on the form, you can just write it there. Okay. Just put it under. You can just put under like 2020, like a new, just like a new thing. You should have access to just.
Oh, nice.
Putting new, like, I think, because like you're a member, so only members can post.
Okay.
So if you were to put like, if you go to the actual forum and then you were to put a new, because we have, if you look down, it says Modern Age top lists. You could put it in there, or if you, I think you do that. So you click on 300-point Modern Age top lists, and then when you go in there, you make a new title that says 2022 National winning lists.
I see topic, maximum length, and then the list topic tags. Okay, cool. Yeah.
At the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see it down there. Yeah.
If so you just all you delete it.
Yeah, I can audit. Okay. Yeah, but you can just all you would do is put 2022. You go 2022 WizKids National, or you could put WizKids National Modern. Yeah, well, you don't have to put Modern Age because these are Modern Age already.
Okay, yeah.
You're in the Modern Age, so you could just put
2022 National winning lists.
Yeah, or put WK winning list, because there's still like Rock and us. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So,
but is there other nationals besides WizKids? Do we have a national?
I think those. No, but Howard does. Remember they had the Silver National Championship.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's fair. And who knows? They might do like a Rock. They might do like a Rock Nationals. Where it's,
okay, so WizKids National. Got it. Perfect. That makes sense.
Because if you look down here, it has WKO.
Yeah, Rock Online Team Nationals. I see it.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, so we just do that. That's
perfect.
Fine.
Easy peasy, squeezy.
Yeah, WK. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, I can't wait for this weekend because it'd be cool to go there for a couple days, because at least we don't have to finish it all in one day, which is fucking great. So, all right. Well, I guess that's what we got. We'll come back next week after the event, and we'll have Roland come on again.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can have some recording and put them up, and then we can put more stuff. Which reminds me, I have to put up all this the stuff from this weekend, because there was some really good events. Oh, good matches. Dude, these games and these lists are getting cooler and cooler now that it's so cool, man. Well, obviously because Disney Plus is also out, so more people are experimenting.
Yeah, looking at the list from when I was typing them up today, I felt there was more diversity at the top 8 and throughout the venue. And dude, the competition was top tier this weekend. Like, it was a lot of good players.
Like one of the ways I gauge it too is like if a winning player, if one of the winners of the ICQs doesn't top 8 and they're at the event, that's when you know it's strong. Because Jose and Richard both won ICQs, and they both didn't make top 8. That just shows you how much strong. And, like, between, like, Aaron is a top player, and he just, he didn't make it, and he's like one of the top guys. But he made top 8 last time.
Yeah.
So
Landers usually makes top 8.
It's usually. So there's some really good comp, and I think it would be cool to have the Vegas guys come back to form.
Mm-hmm.
But I fully expect, because they haven't really had that much practice, I fully expect, like, so if the Barragans go, and then Alyssa, Jesse, Rob, Clay, I fully expect I'm going to put it now. I fully expect 5 of this. I'm going to say at least 5 of that I just named will top 8. 5 of 5. If not all 6.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Alyssa, Jesse, Clay, Rob, Anthony, and Jose. So I'm putting it at 5 minimum, and then there's a chance that all 6 of them go. That's how strong I think, especially because Roland isn't playing.
Yeah.
So that's -1 already. So I'm fully expecting, like,
Patrick.
For me,
Patrick
over there, I'm thinking Patrick will be there, Carlos, and John. Mm-hmm. I fully expect those 3 guys to also be in the top 8, and so for me, that would be the 8.
Yeah, is Alyssa sticking with her
Those are the top players that are there. I think so. I mean, I don't know, but I think the more and more she's playing it, the more and more people are finding out ways around it.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Play what you know, but if everyone else knows it too.
Yeah. So the thing that's been hurting her a lot, because there's still a lot of Doom teams out there. Mm-hmm. They're just straight up they're just switching right into DJ Doom and taking the PIM particles.
Yeah.
And then now they don't have to worry. Yeah, now they don't have to worry about Black Panther seeing them, and then they just die. So that is a thing, But all right. Well, that's it. Yeah, it's good. I think this is really good. I think we should have Roland more. It's a good discussion, and because I like that. Because also,
I really like his perspective of the game.
Yeah, that's why I like posing questions, but also like when I pose it so that you and him can both talk about it. I think that's a good dynamic to have us 3, and also it also means I could do
the sports analogies.
No, but no. Well, there's that too. But but I can do the trivia with you guys.
Yes. Roland, I feel Roland would be a good match for the trivia.
Yeah, that's good. He won the trivia the last time we did it. The prize was a bat cave, because it's the bat computer. So the person and this was back in 2012. So first prize was a bat computer, the bat cave. And at the time that was it was like a lot, right? Because it just came out. And so, dude, there was like 30, like nobody left. There was like 30 people that entered the trivia.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And, so how I did it was like kind of like really quick. So they all had a sheet of paper, and I there was like 10 or 15 questions, and they write it down, and then they all I took all the sheets and I redistributed to different people, and then they graded it as I told the answers. So they're not grading their own. So, but it's some random persons, and then they're grading it to see. Yeah,
I remember doing that in school with my spelling test.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly how you do it. And he won, so that's cool. Okay, let me leave you with a joke. Okay, another one. All right. So there's these two guys hunting in the wilderness, the Pacific Northwest. They're it's like Chip and whatever. I'm just kidding. They're out there. They're hunting big game.
The Eagles.
And they're so they and then suddenly out of nowhere, the guy's partner just kind of like collapses. Boom.
Fucking Brian.
So the guy's like, oh my God, what the hell? Calls. So he's like, oh my God, let me call 911. Calls. The operator's like, 911, what's your emergency? I think my friend just died. What do I do? And she goes, okay, well, first, make sure that he is indeed dead. And he goes, okay, hold on. He goes back, and then you hear a gunshot, and he comes back. Okay, now what?
Poor guy.
There's that.
I like it.
So there, we'll do that every time. I want to come up with stuff.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess until next time, guys. Remember, Only bad players blame the dice.
So don't forget to practice rolling your dice, guys. Take it easy.
Shake it, Cali.